Imagine a moonless night over Yemen, the air thick with tension, when suddenly, boom, the skies erupt in fire. On April 13, 2025, Houthi rebels make a fatal miscalculation, launching a brazen attack that awakens a sleeping titan. The United States doesn't just respond, they unleash a breathtaking, history-making aerial assault, a searing warning to Iran and its proxies. Cross us and you'll burn. What began as a reckless missile strike transforms into a jaw-dropping showcase of American air power. The F-35C pilots of Marine Fighter Attack Squadron 314, the legendary Black Knights, carved their legacy in the stars, obliterating a Houthi missile platform with surgical precision. This wasn't a slap on the wrist, it was a death blow, a masterclass in modern warfare that reverberates across the globe. Strap in for an electrifying saga of stealth jets, earth-shattering bombs, and a U.S. military that strikes like a thunderstorm, leaving nothing but wreckage and fear in its wake. At 1900 hours, aboard the USS Carl Vinson, a floating fortress slicing through the Red Sea, the Black Knights received an encrypted order that sent adrenaline surging. Scramble, fly silent, and wiped the target off the map. The mission was razor-sharp, the margin for error zero. With jet engines howling like banshees, the F-35C Lightning IIs thundered off the carrier's deck, their Pratt & Whitney F-13-5 engines pumping out 43,000 pounds of thrust, catapulting the jets to speeds exceeding Mach 1. The horizon blurred as the Red Sea vanished beneath them, the pilots locked in a high-stakes dance with destiny. These weren't just aircraft, they were winged predators, loaded with weapons that could split mountains and reshape battlefield. Under each F-35's wings hung a deadly payload, 2 BLU-109 bunker buster bombs, feared across military circles as the ultimate fortress killers. These 2,000-pound behemoths aren't built for surface blast. Encased in a 2-inch thick steel shell with a reinforced penetrator head, the BLU-109 can smash through 8 feet of reinforced concrete, 20 feet of solid rock, or 100 feet of compacted earth. A microsecond fuse delays detonation for 25 to 100 milliseconds, letting the bomb burrow deep into its target before unleashing 535 pounds of high explosive devastation from within. The result is apocalyptic: bunkers collapse, underground layers implode, and fortified strongholds vanish in clouds of dust and flame. Flanking the bunker busters were GBU-31 JDAMs, Joint Direct Attack Munitions, 2,000-pound precision-guided monsters that transformed the classic Mk-84 bomb into a GPS-guided sniper. These weapons can strike from medium to high altitudes, with a margin of error under 16 feet, even through blinding storms or jammed satellite signals. Their guidance kits turn dumb bombs into smart killers, capable of threading the needle in the chaos of war. Why not load 4 bunker busters for total destruction? Because the Houthis play a different game. Since 2023, they've waged a shadow war, hammering military and civilian ships in the Red Sea and Gulf of Aden with anti-ship missiles. Their trick? They don't launch from open coastline. Their missile platforms lurk in mountain caves, subterranean bunkers, and sprawling tunnel networks, engineered to withstand conventional strikes. It's a maddening game of hide and seek. Roll out launchers, fire, and disappear before the hammer falls. For months, U.S. intelligence had zeroed in on 2 rugged peaks, straddling Yemen's Marib and Al-Baida provinces. Houthi bunkers, buried over 20 feet beneath the earth, were linked by a web of tunnels and makeshift bridges, shuttling missiles, troops, and supplies between the mountains. It was a crude but brilliant setup, a fortress hidden in plain sight. Satellite imagery revealed mobile launchers slipping in and out of camouflaged entrances, firing missiles before vanishing underground. The Houthis thought they were untouchable. The Black Knights were tasked with dismantling this network, and the plan was a work of art, brutal, precise, and unstoppable. The strategy unfolded in 2 devastating phases. First, the F-35s would drop their bunker busters to crack the bunker's concrete shells, blasting open the roofs and exposing the Houthi arsenal. Then a second wave would swoop in, unleashing JDAMs into the gaping wounds, their 2,000-pound warheads detonating directly atop missile stockpiles, incinerating everything inside. It was a 1-2 punch: force the door open with raw power, then deliver the killing blow. But as the Black Knights screamed toward Houthi airspace, they plunged into a deadly gauntlet. With Iran's backing, the Houthis wield the planet's most lethal non-state air defense network, a sprawling arsenal of missiles, radars, and electronic traps that could swat even the world's most advanced jets from the sky. The Houthi air defense system is no single weapon. It's a multi-layered kill zone, a nightmare of overlapping threats. At low altitudes, they deploy Soviet-era Strela man-pads, ZSU-23 4-Shilka anti-aircraft guns with 4 23mm cannons, and SA-6 and SA-7 missiles with a 7-mile range. These are no match for F-35s cruising at 40,000 feet, but a brief descent could trigger a hailstorm of fire and shrapnel. At medium altitudes, the danger spikes. Iran supplied SA-6 gainful missiles, dating back to 1957, remain terrifyingly lethal. With a 19-mile range and 130-pound fragmentation warheads, they've downed more aircraft than any system in history, from Vietnam's jungles to the Middle East's deserts. The Houthis don't need cutting-edge tech. They overwhelm with volume, launching salvos of older missiles to saturate defenses. At long range, the Fath-1 looms, a souped-up Soviet S-75 system with a 62-mile reach and an 82,000-foot ceiling. Even stealth jets aren't immune. The Houthis mix these with less advanced systems to sow chaos, while pilots dodge visible threats. The Fath-1 can slip through for a precision kill. Add to that mobile radars, suicide drones, and electronic jammers, and you've got a defense network that's downed over 50 aircraft in 5 years. Saudi fighters, Emirati helicopters, and even a US MQ-9 Reaper drone. This isn't luck, it's a masterclass in asymmetric warfare, honed by Iranian training and hardware. The Black Knights knew they were flying into a buzzsaw. Entering Houthi airspace meant evading a dozen missiles at once, all while dodging radar sweeps and electronic interference. But they piloted no ordinary jets. The F-35C Lightning II is a phantom, built to strike and vanish. Its trump card, stealth, radar cross-section. RCS measures a plane's visibility to enemy radar. A large RCS is a bullseye. A small one is a goat. The F-35C's RCS is just a 0.0015 square meters, the size of a golf ball, zipping through the sky at Mach 1. How? A radar-absorbing coating cloaks the jet, swallowing enemy signals like a black hole. 35% of the airframe uses advanced composites, polymers not metal, that deflect radar waves. The fuselage's sleek, curved design scatters radar in all directions, leaving nothing for enemies to track. But stealth wasn't enough. The Houthis' Iranian-supplied radars, like the Ghadar and Matloul al-Fajr, were no Cold War relics, capable of detecting stealth aircraft at reduced ranges. Their jammers could disrupt GPS and communications, turning a high-tech jet into a sitting duck. That's where the mission's secret weapon came in, the EA-18G Growler. As the F-35s roared off the carrier, this electronic warfare titan took flight, its wings loaded with electromagnetic wizardry. Forget bombs, the Growler fights with signal. Its ALQ-2049 next-generation jammer floods enemy radars with overwhelming radio pulses, frying circuits and turning screens to snow. Under its wings, AGM-88 HARM missiles wait to shred active radar sites, locking onto their emissions and obliterating them in seconds. On this night, the Growler unveiled a revolutionary trick, a next-gen jamming system that doesn't just blind radars, it hacks their reality. By planting fake targets, scrambling signatures, and disrupting radar memory, it turns Houthi defenses into a confused mess, firing at phantoms while the real threat slips by. This was the Growler's historic debut in a naval strike package, a game-changer that tilted the battlefield in America's favor. As the Black Knights pierced Houthi airspace, the Growler worked its sorcery. Enemy radars saw nothing. No blips, no warnings, no sign of the storm descending. The F-35s were invisible, slicing through the night like specters. When the pilots locked onto the mountain bunkers, They knew it was time to unleash hell. The bunker busters dropped first, streaking toward the targets with pinpoint accuracy. The ground quaked as the bombs punched through concrete and rock, detonating deep inside and collapsing the bunker roofs. Seconds later, the JDAMs followed, plunging into the breaches like guided meteors. Their 2,000-pound warheads erupted in cataclysmic fireballs, incinerating missile launchers, ammo caches, and tunnel networks in a symphony of destruction. Before the Houthis could react, the jets banked hard and vanished into the darkness, their stealth cloaking them from pursuit. The strike was flawless, but its true power lay in the message it sent. The US had just proved it could hit any target, anywhere, without a whisper of warning. This wasn't just a tactical win, it was a strategic earthquake, a declaration to Iran and its proxies. Your bunkers are tombs, your defenses are paper, and we can strike at will. The Black Knights didn't just execute a mission, they rewrote the playbook of modern warfare. In an age where stealth, precision, and electronic dominance reigned supreme, this strike was a glimpse into the future, a future where brute force bows to technology. The Houthis, reeling from the loss of their arsenal, went silent, their propaganda channels dark. Iran's planners, watching from Tehran, got the message loud and clear. America's reach is limitless, and its wrath is unrelenting. But the story doesn't end there. The Red Sea remains a cauldron of tension, with Houthi missile teams still lurking in Yemen's mountains. The U.S. Navy's carrier strike groups patrol relentlessly, their decks bristling with jets, ready to strike again. The Black Knights have returned to their routines, flight drills, mission briefings, and the quiet pride of knowing they've changed the game. Yet the shadow of Iran looms large, funneling weapons and strategy to its proxies, daring the West to respond. Every missile launch, every radar ping, risks escalating the shadow war into a global inferno. This strike wasn't just about destroying a bunker, it was about drawing a line in the sand. The US showed the world that no fortress is safe, no defense impenetrable, but the Houthis, bloodied but unbowed, will strike again. And when they do, the Black Knights and their Growler wingmen will be waiting, ready to light up the night with fire and precision. In this deadly game of cat and mouse, one truth reigns. In the modern battlefield, technology is king, and America wields the crown. That's the saga, folks. A white-knuckle journey through stealth, firepower, and a US military that strikes like a bolt from the blue. If this tale of jets, bombs, and high-stakes brinkmanship set your pulse racing, smash that like button, hit subscribe, and sound off in the comments. Your support is the fuel that drives us to deliver heart-pounding, top-tier content every single day. Thanks for diving into the chaos with us. See you tomorrow, same time, same place. Stay sharp, stay curious, and let's keep unraveling the battles that shape our world.